Hello friends, hello flight simmers, welcome back once again to the mighty PMDG 777-200, the ER to be specific. Oh, interesting, just as the L1 door is opening, never mind that. Yeah, so we are back in the 777. I figured after the release we can easily do 2 or 3 flights in a row. Yeah, to make the best of this release and to get used to the aircraft as well. I really enjoy it a lot. I'm generally a huge fan of the 777-200, and yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. On the first flight we did the the ANA Airlines 777 with the special Star Wars livery on a domestic flight, and now we are ramping things up a little bit, flying British Airways from Vancouver to London Heathrow, and this will be a flight time of I think 8 hours and 30 minutes. We will look at the flight plan in just a second. But let's start with a walk around. So what I mentioned on the first flight is that we will work our ways through the different engine configs. Now on the first one we had the Pratt & Whitneys. Now on the British Airways we have the Rolls-Royce engines. Very interesting and specific to the British Airways fleets that they actually have a variance of engine types on their 777 fleet, which is something usually airlines want to avoid, right? But the kind of newer ones have the Rolls-Royce engines. There are some ancient ones in the fleet, almost 30 years of age, which have the I believe the GE engines. This one is the Rolls-Royce engines. We are flying the registry of Yankee Mike Sierra, which is among the newer ones of the 777-200s of BA. This one specifically is 16 years old, so not exactly a new aircraft, but compared to the other ones, I think now at 28 years of age or something, it is it's fairly young. And yeah, beautiful aircraft. I'm very much looking forward to the departure, especially to hear the Rolls-Royce engines. There's always a very specific sound to Rolls-Royce engines. No matter on which aircraft, they are always sort of the easiest to pick out when it comes to sounds, in my opinion. And look at this, I'm just seeing. There's the company 777 featuring the General Electric engines. So now we even have both of them here on the ramp. And yeah, so we are flying British Airways 86. British Airways has 2 daily services on this route. The 86, which departs at like 6 PM local time, gets to London 11 AM, and then there's a later one departing, I think 8 PM, and then getting to London a bit later as well. We are doing the early one, so it's going to be a nice daytime departure, and then a daytime arrival into London Heathrow later on as well. Currently we are running AI traffic, simply because on VETSIM there was essentially no action at all here at Vancouver. However, getting to London Heathrow, and I'm planning to actually fly this one as an overnighter, so I will get to London Heathrow Sunday morning time, and I think chances are high that we might pick up some ATC going into Heathrow, which of course would be super cool. And yeah, I mean, this already looks brilliant, right? It's a beautiful aircraft, huge tail this is indeed. And yeah, maybe we should start looking onto the OFP, but we can actually do that on the EFB inside the cockpit. And so let's finish the walk around. I mean, I'm not doing a proper walk around here, just basically admiring the aircraft. And then we will jump into the flight deck in just a second. Alright, so here we are on the beautiful flight deck. First things first, let's do the overhead in order to get the IRSs aligned. So this comes to on, emergency lights armed. This is all looking good. Seatbelts can come on now. This is all looking good. We are on external air as well as external power, so this is all looking good to me. Right, now, where do we go? Electronic flight back, OFP. British Airways 86 from Vancouver to London Heathrow. We are essentially fully booked. I think in this config, BA is running like 270-ish passengers, and I've almost filled it up. So I think we are at 259 passengers. A little bit of cargo on top I've dialed in, which I think is realistic on this kind of routing. So zero fuel of 171.8 essentially, and then takeoff weight 234.7 out of 300. I have done somewhat of an investigation into the takeoff variants which are available now, and essentially the very early 777s had a lower takeoff weight, and then the newest one, starting from somewhere around year 2000, I think, they actually all had they could be available with the high takeoff weight of, which I believe is 660,000 pounds. So if we go into weight and balance here, you can see that, I mean, this isn't in pounds as it looks like. So I think this one is the max takeoff weight of 660,000 pounds, and yeah, we are far away from that, but we are heavier than we were on the first flight, where we were like 100 tons shy of max takeoff weight. Now the difference is not that great. Still, very performant aircraft, right? You can see it in the steps straight away up to 370, then 390 later on. Flight time 8:32. Alternate is Manchester, and a block fuel of 63.6 tons. I've checked the weathers before, so I'm not going to go there now, but it's going to be fair weather here in Vancouver, and then very fair weather as well over in London Heathrow. Right, then maybe we shall continue in the FMC. Alright, actually, since I'm unsure if the sim treats this as a different aircraft compared to the other variants, so I want to check a few things. This is kilograms. And then there's one thing which is very important to me, which is auto thrust manual override never, and that's the way it needs to be for my setup at least. So that's good. Right, FMC, pause in it, GPS, route. Okay, route request coming in from SimBrief. I think these should be set now. I've done it through the EFB, and I think it essentially does the same. So fuel is. Oh, I think the distribution changed actually. That's interesting. And set payload, but that should be set as well. Select route, requesting, progress page. And then we can already pull up the weather as well. Departure 260 at Elf. That was my German peeking through. 260 at 11. Yeah, good weather here. So that's going to be departure runway. What is it, 27 left or something? I have no idea. Where's the charts? Airport. 26 left. This will be then. All right. Load. Let's use these charts. I usually use the Navigraph app, but just for a change here, maybe we can make use of this one, and then we will taxi. We're now 64, I believe. We just taxi out on Kilo Victor Hotel Delta. Yeah, I believe that's what we will do. And for the departure, I have not checked. It is supposedly Richmond. I very much believe so. Okay. Route dollar departure 26 left Richmond. route. Departure arrival. For the arrival, let's simply dial ILS 27 left. And then I actually need to look at the flight plan. What we have filed or prepped. The Nukra. Nukra transition I will set up later on. Activate performance. 0 fuel weight. 171.8, 6.4, 350, 160. Okay. I will leave it at 350 and then we will look at the VNAV page during the climb out and see if we can even go up to 370 initially. Lex route. Oh, that's something I'm just noticing. I haven't checked that on how to do the wind uplink. Last time it didn't work. But now it did, so never mind. Did 9.8. It's not a huge amount of fuel. Well, let's see. Let's see if we get there. Right, performance calculation then. Performance tool, runway 26 left, import from aircraft, optimal off, 235, auto import weather to 60, 11, 12, 3009, calculate, flap 5, takeoff 247, so huge derate as well. I wonder if the 777 ever gets up to like max power takeoff. If you know any sort of routing or departure aircraft where typically they need to get close to max takeoff thrust, let me know. It would be kind of fun to do it one day as well. Flap 5, 27, and then that's 150, 150, 255. 150, 150, 255. Now, one thing we need to check is acceleration altitude. So let's go to the black box 711 airport data. And this is gonna be 1020, 1020. So that's a NADP2. So that's 1020 and 1020. Ah, sorry. That was very much the Airbus way of entering stuff. Let's do it properly like this. Alright. That's that. Let's fire up this one. And quickly checking a few more things. Going back to the OFP, just regarding the fuel. Block fuel 63.6, 63.6, okay. Dollar is up there. Holy cow. It's going to be a lot of turning, but looking at the flight plan... Oh, they actually turn right, sorry. Just seeing, when they're flying up north, they can even turn right after departure, then we should do that as well. Yeah, so that's going to be the Vancouver departure, and then we can take a right-hand turn. That's going to be much easier. Departure... Vancouver, and now the takeoff speeds are deleted. 151 was in here. Right, that makes more sense. Then we have initial heading of 263. And then we can leave it at 10,000 flying offline right now, so not big of a difference. Right, then we are essentially... APU is running already. Let's go to the door management. Oh wait, let's actually check out what's on here. Climb heading 263 or as assigned by ATC. Alright, that's easier to guess. Door management. close all. And arm all. Then we need our parking brake to come in, of course. Then we can run the before start, sorry, the pre-flight checklist. Oxygen, let's call it checked. Instruments 354, 354. Altimeters 3009er, twice, 3 times. That's looking good to me. Right, overhead panel then. No, actually let's call GSX first. And then we go into ground connections. We can remove. Oh, nice that there's a, a save mechanism back there, because I was about to kill the aircraft's power. But that just saved me right there. Alright, traffic VORs.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Shall we dial 1000? TA. Right, then we can put on fuel pumps. We have a tiny bit of fuel in the center tank. Yeah, 3.3. Bypass pin inserted, so the hydraulics can come on as well. Beacons go on like this. And then we are ready to move. Right, so what we will do after departure, we will just climb out to like 1000 feet. And then we can take a right-hand turn towards Dollar, or I think also even the next waypoint.
Locking gear.
I think we can make it very direct here. Alright, let's run the before start checks. Flight deck door closed. MCP V2 155 heading 263 altitude, flight level 10,000 for now, or 10,000 feet. Takeoff speeds 51, 55, 52, 55. Zero pre-flight completed. Trim. Forgot it once again. Always forget to set it before the pushback.
Release parking brakes.
So 6.25 is right there, and then taxi takeoff briefings completed.
Release parking brakes.
Let's go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Right, so let's fire up the Rolls Royces on number 1 first. And then for the second one we can look at the engine for startup. Alright, so N2 and N3. Oil pressure is rising, oil temperature should rise, oil quantity is supposed to drop. And then there's N1, and then there should be ignition. There we go. Generator's already online, and that's starter cutout, so that's a good start. And then doing number
set parking brakes
2.
Unlocking gear.
Beautiful stuff. Alright, 2 good engine starts. APU is coming off. This comes RTO. Flaps going into position 5. Okay, I feel like the flap sound should definitely be more pronounced here on the cabin view, but never mind. Yeah, quick flight control check. Full left, full right, full up, full down, full left, full right. Oh, that was my bad. How do I stop it there? Sorry, that was just the wrong button I hit there. Okay, so that's checked. Flaps we've done, that's we've done. Checklist. Anti-eye is not required. Recall is checked. Track control is checked. Ground control is clear. Turn off and text lights. And off we go. Let's move. Alright folks, we're coming up to runway 26 left, and look at this. I actually tried to receive an ATIS through the comm manager, and we did get an PMDG generated ATIS. So nothing interesting in there for us, which we didn't know already, but it's kind of cool to get these ATIS. Of course, if VETSIM would be online, we would get the real ATIS in here, which would be very cool indeed, but yeah, so that's not really relevant for us now. Let's complete the before takeoff checklist. Flaps position 5, that's set. Checklist complete. Approach seems to be free. Let's use terrain on the site, almost clear skies, so weather is not really needed. Strobes, so all the lights are set, and thus we are pretty much ready to rock and roll, right? TARA. And then we will power out of Vancouver. Let's make a good lineup, but I think that we can even keep it rolling. Right, run, and let's go. So I need to be careful on the thrust. The initial bits of movement on my setup are very sensitive, so that's around 40%. Stable. Auto thrust. Thrust ref. Toga. Nice. So very, very different sound compared to the Pratt & Whitney's. Very different, and that's really cool. V1, rotate. Let's go flying. And off we go. Gears coming up. Oh, beautiful. really, really, really beautiful. That's 1,000 feet. Okay, let's trim the aircraft. Let's climb power. And then I think we can go direct gare. Execute. Okay, let's go into the right hand turn. Flaps 1. Let's flaps up and look at this wing view. Dang, this is so cool. Heading into some clouds right now. Right, letting go of the yoke. It should be trimmed out to essentially keep the speed we are running right now. So yeah, feels great. Feels really nice indeed. Vancouver down there. Airport back there. Awesome. Fuel low center, yeah, that is expected. Alright, let's hit on the autopilot. After takeoff checklist, or green. And let's line up the heading back. I believe these mountains are rather high over here, so that's 10,700 feet. Yeah, we will clear it easily, but we need to keep that in mind, of course. All right, guys. So that's that on the departure. Beautiful departure out of Vancouver today. I'm really happy I've chosen that route, at least for the departure. But let's see how the arrival goes. But yeah, I can't wait to land the 777 into London Heathrow later on, and potentially even with ATC. That would be super cool. And I hope to see you guys there as well. So enjoy the cruise and catch you later. Hello folks, welcome back. We are approaching London. A little bit of a different setup now. I did not manage to get the flight recorded in one go. I had on the first attempt I had a crash to desktop into London, and then I did a second attempt, and same stuff happened. And I think I mean, London is very, very heavy on performance, and on top of that, there was a lot of online traffic by the time I tried the recording. So what I'm now doing is giving it a third try, because I still want to complete the flight, but we're doing so offline, and I think this works a little bit better in terms of performance. So let's talk about a few things here. I'm quite behind now in the setup for this approach, as it always happens, but we can quickly do things. So we plan runway 09 left. You can see that right there. We are, that's tiny, flying the Bovington transition. So we just passed Bovington, so we're now pretty close to getting on the final approach, and then it's just the normal ILS 09 left into Heathrow. I think that's a well-known procedure. Altimeters, I think, was 1021 last time I checked. We can double check. 1021, 13 degrees, no clouds detected, 070 at 7. So really nice weather here in London today. And then the minimums for this one will be 279er. So quickly setting that up as well. Oh, no, I went way too far. Oh, why is it going the wrong way now? Ah, it's annoying. Getting close to 9er. Let's go with that. Makes really no difference today with this conditions. Checklist, that's completed, of course. Recall. That is checked. Notes are checked. Odd brake selected 2. We will do the calculation again in just 1 second. VREF, we can easily land flap 25 plus 5 gives us 140. Minimums are set to 9er now, and approach briefing is completed. Right, I think those fellas can come to arm as well. Oh, there's some traffic. Oh, now if actually offline traffic manages to mess up my approach once again, then I'm actually inclined to go a little bit crazy. Let's hope it doesn't. Right, so for the landing, maybe quickly going into performance 2 landing en route. Heathrow 9er left. Yeah, so that's kilo 181. Auto brake 2 and flap 25. Oh, weather, of course. So that's 2061 meters. Now the sweet thing in Microsoft 2024 is we have this handy little thing where we can search for the charts. I hardly use this, so how do I... Maybe I'm not well prepared. Charts. I think it's one of those big ones. Yeah, this one. So we calculated 2000 feet, right? So this will get us off, not quite at Alpha 9 Whiskey, but it will safely get us off at Alpha 8, and that's, I think, quite good for us to take this exit. Meanwhile, we need to go flap 1. So Alpha 8, and then we can take a right-hand turn on Alpha and taxi back to Terminal 5 Bravo, somewhere over there. So yeah, I really love these charts for having the sort of the runway exit length on here. That's really handy, and something I really miss on the Navigraph charts as well. Right, we are turning final now. Gotta be honest with you, since this being my third try for this approach, I'm just gonna kick traffic off if they mess with my approach now. I just can't have it anymore. I don't see the guy, that's a bit strange. Okay, let's go flap 5. approach. Go round altitude will be 3000. Enough altitude, glide slope armed. So we actually climbing up now. That was a bit unintended. Where is he? Should be rather close. Anyhow, let's continue. Yeah, we're getting there. Let's go flap 15. I need a bit more drag. Meanwhile, just do it right now. Taxi at turn of lights. So we got this out of our way. And then it should be a good approach. It's a little bit bumpy, but that's something I noticed in Microsoft Flights in 2024. It just feels like the turbulence is way more pronounced compared to the previous sim. Let's go gear down. There he is. Okay, not sure what he's doing, but we're actually faster than him, so I think we're gonna be alright. Okay, speed 170 for now, then we need to slow down to 140. We have now 5 miles to go. I think it's a good time to slow down. Okay, so let's slow down to final approach speed. Flap 20. And flap 25. And then this should complete the approach checklist, of course. 1021 is set. And landing checklist. Flaps are set position 25 in just a second. And there we go. Oh wow. Autopilot is fighting to keep it on course. Right.
1000.
Wow, it's actually autopilot is going crazy. Let's take manual flight then. See how it goes. Yeah, so right now performance is surprisingly good. I think it's because of one issue which I'm struggling. It's like way back in the days I bought London Heathrow in the Microsoft marketplace, and so this does not allow for like changing of options while actually buying it through iniBuilds through the manager. There's lots of options which I could turn on and off. So I believe that's one of the issues, that it's just running at all its settings, and I can't dial it down. But anyhow, let's focus on the landing now. I think we're looking good. 2 reds, 2 whites. Bit of terrain loading in.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. Oh, just one departure ahead. Oh gosh, almost missed that.
100.
It's almost like having real ATC.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Come on. There we go. A bit of leg spikes. Reverse. Green. Diesel. Nice. What is this aircraft? AI traffic is a strange thing. Alright, but this looks quite alright. Manual braking out forward. So where are we turning off? Is it Alpha 8? Perfect. Just as we calculated for. Nice. Outbreak off. Let's see for the touchdown rate. 180. That's okay. Yeah, I feel like this 777-200 needs very little flare only. You can almost cruise it in without any flare, and then the ground effect will take care of the rest. But yeah, just a tiny bit of flare is enough. That's at least what I've experienced so far. Right, let's find ourselves a stand. Transponder. And spoilers are still up, I believe. Let's see, weather radar is off already, that's good. Alright, then. Looking for a stand. Let's take, I don't know if this flight has a usual stand where it parks, but let's take something on 5 Bravo. Let's go 546. Just a few meters, and then we have made it. Park and brake. APU is running, killing engines 1 and 2. This guy is coming back to standby. 2000 to make it very accurate. And beacons, and then hydraulic pumps, few pumps, and interesting that it takes a moment for the APU bleed to kick in. I don't remember this gap being there on previous versions of the 777. Right, so that's set, and then parking checklist. Parking brake is set, complete. Right. Where do we go? Ground operations, set chocks, ground power, and then we will ask for the boarding.
The boarding requested.
Ground power available. Sweet. Alright guys, here we are. Finally I got this flight completed. that was a stretch, to be honest. But yeah, we made it. That's nice. I really love the sound of the Rolls-Royce engines on the 777. Let's see. So far we have flown the Pratt & Whitney, and now we have flown the Rolls-Royce. I do prefer the Rolls-Royce sound over the Pratt & Whitney. Let's see. Now the only engine variant left for us to fly, of course, is the GEs, and the GEs are pretty neat as well. And I think, if I remember correctly, the GEs are the ones where PMDG created the new sound modeling as well. So very excited to try the General Electrics as well. And yeah, what shall I say? Of course, the 777 is a very enjoyable aircraft. I still think, pricing-wise, given that we have already all paid for the 777-300 and the freighter, I think they could have gone in a bit more softer on the pricing of the 200ER, but it is what it is. Yeah, we will enjoy it as much as we can, that's for sure. Alright guys, so thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, let's see, maybe I'll have a different aircraft before doing the GEs, but yeah, anyway, you will see on the channel, right? So yeah, thank you for today, thank you for tuning in, and take care.